Hello students and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn about material cost accounting standard 6. The areas of material cost and the theoretical part we are going to cover in this segment. Afterwards you will have to solve the quiz which is mentioned in description box. So let's start with material cost.
Is all about material cost. As per cost accounting standard 6, we need to learn the concept of material cost. As you know that materials constitute one of the important element of production. So the ICWA has issued cost accounting standard 6 which deals with material cost. Here are few examples and types of our cost accounting. First is raw material. So in case of types of material, first is raw material. So raw material is a basic, or we can say main material used in the manufacture of product. For example, sugarcane is the raw material for production of sugar. Cotton is the raw material for production of cotton yarn. So raw material is a basic without which we cannot produce output. Second type of material is process material, or we can say additive. Process material or additives are materials used in the process of manufacture in addition to raw material. It varies from industry to industry. Process material for sugar industry is lime or sulfur. In paper industry, clay, china clay is the additive material. Additive material which are additional, supportive to the your main material, your basic material. The third type of material is bought out components. Bought out components means a manufactured product which forms part of the finished product and is fitted to the product without any further processing. For example, fan belt in an automobile. In other words, bought components are purchased item used in the assembling of main product. So these are already manufactured item which needs to be assembled in our during actual production, and these items are also available in the market for replacement of worn out parts and known as a spare part. So spare part which we can use again and again. The next type of material is sub-assemblies. Sub-assembly means an assembly of various components with a distinct identity and form part of the finished product. For example, engine or steering in an automobile. So in automobile sector, engine or steerings are sub-assemblies. The next concept is accessories. Accessories may be either a component or sub-assembly which is not essential for the basic functioning of the product but supplied as an optional item. For example, an air conditioner or music system in an automobile. So basic role of automobile is driving car. So engine is very essential, very important. And you might have knowing that in few years back, the car where only fans used to be there, no AC. So additional accessories are that. And the last type of material is consumable stores. Consumable stores are items used in the maintenance of plant. For example, lubricants, cotton waste, paint, and the like. So the things which are used and thrown. Okay, cotton waste, lubricants, these are the consumable stores. The next concept is to understand direct versus indirect material. Basically, material cost is defined as a cost of material of any nature used for the purpose of production of a product or a service. Material cost is the cost of commodities supplied to an undertaking as per SEMA. So direct materials are the materials whose cost can be attributed to a cost object in an economically feasible way. and indirect materials are those whose cost cannot be directly attributed to a particular cost object. What does it mean? It means that in case of direct material, material is identified in finished goods. We can easily understand what sort of material used in case of direct material. Suppose if we are manufacturing sugar, so basic raw material is sugar cane, is sweetness and everything, we able to understand that concept. But indirect cost which cannot be easily identified, we don't know whether in case of sugar industry lime or sulfur is using or not. So these things are called as indirect material, which has no identity in finished goods. Their identity has been vanished. The next major concept is material control. So material control is defined by ICMA as the function of ensuring that sufficient stocks are retained in a stock to meet all requirements without carrying unnecessary stock. Means you should not suppose to carry huge stock which incurred, which will become the reason for the wastages. And material control is the safeguarding of company's property in the form of materials by a proper system of recording, and also to maintain them at the optimum level considering operating requirements and financial resources of business. So material control involves the planning, organizing and controlling the receipt, issue and storage of material so to as achieve the objective of efficiency and economy. If we want to run the organization efficiently and economically, we need to focus on material control. There are advantages of material control. Is like it facilitates the smooth running of production by ensuring the supplies of material of the right quantity in right qualities at the right time and right prices. It avoids the unnecessary locking up of working capital on materials. Thereafter, it reduces the cost of buying by determining the economic ordering quantities. Then it reduces the cost of storage by avoiding unnecessary holding up of stock. It reduces the risk of loss of material from pilferage, theft, damage, deterioration, etc. through proper storage. It reduces the wastage in the use of material. It provides prompt and correct information about the value of material used in various departments. It facilitates the availability of ready and up-to-date information about stock of materials through perpetual inventory system. It ensures regular reporting to the management about receipt, issue, and stock of materials, and also about the spoiled item and obsolete stocks. So material control has these many advantages. Now, the procedure involves receipt of materials. There are 5 procedures involves in case of receipt of material. First one is purchase requisition. Second is inquiry or tenders. Third, purchase order. Fourth, inspection of goods. Fifth, receipt. Now, the stepwise procedure 1 is purchase requisition. So the procedure is done by the production department. So purchase department needs to be approached by production department. So production department does not purchase any material on its own. It initiates action to procure an item only when informed in writing by the stores or production department, etc. So purchase department needs to get requisition from stores department. So production or store departments request in writing to purchase department. Purchase department does not purchase any material on its own. First thing is that purchase department does not purchase any material on its own. It requires a written purchase request. So that is called purchase requisition. which requisition contains the name of item, description, code, unit, quantity, delivery date, required place, even where it should be needed is also mentioned. Second thing is inquiry or tender. As and when the requisition is received from production department, the purchase department starting their procedure on receipt of purchase requisition, the purchase department send out inquiries for supply to the existing supplier in respect of standard materials, or the concerned government agency for supply of controlled commodities, or the supplies with whom it has a rate contract or long-term contract in respect of the material required. In case the item cannot be procured through any of the above sources, the purchase department has to invite tenders or quotations from a number of parties. The tender or quotation received up to the specified date and time are carefully studied, and a decision is taken to accept that tender which offers the best terms. So in case of inquiries and tenders, their best quotation getting selected either on the point of view of quality or the quantity or the pricing. Any angle can be accepted. Then the selection of tender. All tenders issued by the stipulated day and time are opened and explained. All tenders are compared and contract is awarded to the supplier offering the best terms. So either best quality, best pricing, whatever it be. But the selection procedure is taking place over here. Thereafter, the third step is purchase order. So purchase department issued a purchase order to the supplier. Once the supplier is selected, the purchase department issued a purchase order to the supplier for supply of specific material on the terms and condition agreed. The purchase order is a key document in purchase function. It is a document having legal as well as managerial significance. It is a legal document since it is a contract between purchaser and the supplier for the supply of material on agreed terms. It is a managerial document as it is used by various departments such as purchase for ensuring the supply of materials, by stores for receipt and inspection of materials, and by accounts for approving the purchase invoice for payment. Therefore, the format of purchase order should be carefully devised. It should give all the required details in a clear manner. It should have the name of item, description, code, unit, quantity, price, and amount with the terms and condition of delivery, packing, payment, and jurisdiction subject to whatever it is. Okay, so these are the procedures, and the last procedure is receipt. Inspection of goods. The fourth procedure is inspection of goods. And in case of inspection, this is when the material dispatched by the supplier is first subject to inspection before being accepted and received in the stores. So the inspection procedure is as follows. One is acknowledge supplier's challan. A copy of delivery challan sent by the supplier is acknowledged by the stores and sent to the supplier. This indicates that the material is received in the store subject to inspection and approval. Then information inspection department, the stores inform the inspectors about the receipt of material. The inspection may be done by a separate inspection department or by an officer of the department which has requisitioned the material. And the inspector make a detailed inspection of the material as to the description, quality, quantity, packing condition, etc. The inspector then prepare an inspection note. A specimen of inspection note include the item, description, quantity, remarks, whether accepted or rejected, and reason of reject code. So goods may be rejected due to whatever the reason, that code has to be mentioned over here. So inspection specimen provided acceptance or rejection of the goods. And the final procedure part is receipt of goods. Once the material is inspected and accepted, it is formally received in the stores. Stores then issued a document, various known as goods received note, material received note, store receipt note, etc. Once this document is issued by the stores, the material becomes the property of the purchasing company and responsibility of the stores. As and when the material is received, there is a responsibility of stores to protect that material or take care or guard that material, because it is already been inspected and there is no any problem in that. The next and very important aspect is valuation of receipt. According to cost accounting standard 6, material cost, the following items are to be included or added for the purpose of determining valuation of receipt of material. So number one is purchase price. Number one is purchase price. So purchase price is supposed to the part of valuation receipt. Second is duties and taxes. Third, freight inwards, that is material carriage, or you can say carriage cost. Next, insurance and other expenditures directly attributed to procurement. Procurement means to purchase. So self-manufactured packing materials shall be valued including direct material cost, direct employees cost, direct expenses, job charges, factory overheads, and other directly related overheads. There are few exclusions are there. So in case of valuation of receipt, we need to exclude trade discount, rebates, then refundable tax. So these things needs to be excluded, should not consider while valuation receipt. That is one of the example. We can give few more points over here. For example, suppose we are purchasing 4 quantity or 1000 quantity at the rate of rupees 4, that amount will become 4000. Additional duties or charges on it at 400, then freight inward is 50, insurance is 50, and other expenses are 10. So total is 4510. This should be considered as your valuation of receipt, excluding trade discount, rebate, and refundable tax. So today in our first video of material cost, we have covered the types of material cost, the types of raw materials, then direct versus indirect material, distinguish between direct and indirect material, the concept of material control, then the procedure involves in receipt of materials. There are 5 procedures involved in receipt of material. First is purchase requisition, where production or store department request in writing to purchase department. Then inquiry or tenders, these are quotation or tenders asked by the purchase department after receiving written purchase requisition. Then the purchase order, when the selection taking place of the supplier, then the purchase department issued a purchase order to supplier. Thereafter, after selection of supplier, the inspection of goods, and finally receipt of goods. And how to value the receipt of goods is the procedure of the items needs to be included is purchase price, addition to that duties and taxes, freight inwards, insurance, other expenditures directly attributed to production, and should exclude trade discount, rebate, and refundable tax. It should not be considered. So in coming lectures, we'll continue with the practical problems. So that's it for today. We'll continue, carry on our lectures in coming sessions. Thank you very much.
So I hope you enjoyed this part and you understand what we want to express in the form of theory of material cost. In next lecture, we will do a practical illustrations related to material cost. Thank you.